What's going on, boys? Today we are talking ENTJs. Relationship problems, fear of sway. I'm speaking primarily about female ENTJs because I've never dated a male ENTJ, but I suspect there will be some overlap. So ENTJs in love, at least with INTPs, seem to move in a consistent arc, which ends in the ENTJs pulling away hard at some point, right there at the finish line. We'll go through the whole arc to reach that point, then find out how some ENTJs have beaten it. Because it will be the ENTJ who beats it. It seems to be some kind of internal battle they're having right there at the end. ENTJs in the beginning come on real strong. They peacock. They will peacock about their personality. They will peacock about their finances, their accomplishments, their long-term goals. They will peacock about their sexuality, their conquests, their ability, and they will peacock about their intelligence. ENTJs tend to be good storytellers, and they will probably convey their impressiveness as stories. They won't just say, I'm this or that. They will tell you a story explaining the way they were this or that, or still are. They're trying to impress you, and they have little to no connection with you, even if they say they do, in the very beginning. I don't know what's going on in their heads, but the way it seems, either you are someone they want to knock down, or you are a shiny object to possess. In either case, just for a little while, which is why they are being so cocky. Next phase, once you like them but don't get swept up, and they don't leave, they get really shy. Suddenly they are self-critical. It's a complete 180 from the persona they presented at the beginning. Then, once more time passes, and they love you to an irreplaceable point, I think they pull away. They pull away fast, they pull away hard, they won't explain themselves, and if you try to talk about it, they'll call you crazy. Most importantly, or most notably, the thing that always seems to come up, not just in my observations, but in other people's experiences, including ENTJs I've spoken with, a phrase. You will never be more important to me than X. Whatever it is. Career, skill set, goals, etc. You will never be more important to them than this thing. Now, what is that? Right? Because if ENTJs really did value this other thing more than you, then why are they so emotionally charged? And why are they so averse to your leaving? Because this leads to a breaking point. Either you leave, or just as that pull away switch came on, the come back switch gets flipped, and everything is fine for the long, long, long haul. What I think is happening is fear of sway, or fear of influence. Firstly, if someone is super important to them, irreplaceably important to them, that person needs to be factored into their plans somehow. And maybe that person might, not by their doing anything, but just by existing as an important person to the ENTJ, might lead the ENTJ's goals somewhere they weren't expecting, or lead them into different goals. the end result, not achieving what the ENTJ wants to achieve in the way they want to achieve it because they need to consider this important person. No good. No good. That is icky to them. Secondly, I think what bothers them even more than that, even more than by this person's just existing, the ENTJ would alter their plans, is the fact that the ENTJ would, damn well would, alter their plans. They want to alter their plans on some level to keep this person around. That's spooky. That's probably, to them, the scariest lack of control possible. The sort of lack of control that you want to partake in. To FE types, that seems like a given. You care about this person a lot, of course your plans are going to change for them. That just comes naturally to us. Or if we can't factor the person into our plans and our plans are integral to us, then we walk away. It's not even necessarily a cold thing or a huge loss, it just is what it is. Or maybe that's a TI thing and not an FE thing, I have no idea. But to ENTJs, it's not an is what it is thing. Maybe that's FI. This person feels irreplaceable, but keeping them around would mess with the plans that you don't want to change, but you also don't want to lose them. Which leads up to the pull away and the breaking point, the final bid for control, which is push the person away and subjugate them without letting them leave. And I don't know what to do about this, because I've run into it a number of times now, and it seems other INTPs who date ENTJs have as well. And ENTJs, namely married female ENTJs, those are the ones I speak with. Married female ENTJs who are happily married are excellent sources of information. They have big sister energy. They are super helpful, super chill. And weirdly, all of them seem to have run into this point. Pull away and tell their partner, this thing will be more important than you, no matter what, and then at some point, somehow, and what confuses and frustrates me is somehow the ones who are married just moved past that. Their partner, usually an INTP, says, alright, I'm out. And then it's like the switch flips and something changes, and then instead of pulling away, they go all in, and then they're happily married for the longest one I spoke with was like 15 years. This video isn't to tell you what to do when you reach this point, because I don't know. It seems like something that happens inside the ENTJ and they make a decision. This video's point is to observe. I'm pretty sure it's a control thing and a fear thing. The fear of caring about someone so much, they would voluntarily deviate from the plan, trademark. I suppose if I had to give advice based on what I think I might possibly know now, is don't take it personally. It has less to do with you than it does with the idea of you. And if they're doing this, it's because you are that important to them. They are afraid of how much they love you and what they would do for you, and their only response, now that they have gone so gosh darn far off course of what they were expecting, is to bonk you with a sledgehammer and run. Which, with outsiders' perspective and knowledge of what's going on, is sweet. Right now, I think your two main options, or best options, are A, ride it out and don't fold, or B, leave and 100% completely leave. If you stay but fold, they are going to abuse you for getting them to that point, then not being shit in the end. And if you leave but don't completely leave an in, expect them to come back or do something like that, and let them, then they are going to abuse you for pretty much the same thing. Not being shit in the end and working them up to that point. And how do you get them past that final hurdle, that final breaking point? Again, I have no idea. That is between them and their maker. I don't know. From all the ENTJs I've spoken with, almost all of them reach that point in a relationship, then either don't face the fear and something bad happens, or they do face the fear and they end up married, and somehow, another weird personality trend, they chill out a whole lot, and they are, well, they're confident before, but now it's a chill confidence. It's the difference between someone who feels like they need to own the room and do a bunch of work to maintain it versus the person who owns the room so completely they can relax. Or at least seem relaxed. ENTJs are hard to read on that level. And to conclude, we are going to read a bit of Crowley. There are archetypes in the cards, and we'll read a translation after that might sound a little bit nicer. The characteristics of the Queen are adaptability, persistent energy, calm authority which she knows how to use to enhance her attractiveness. She is kindly and generous but impatient of opposition. She has immense capacity for friendship and for love, but always on her own initiative. There is as much pride in this card as in the Knight, but it lacks the spontaneous nobility which excuses that error. It is not true pride, but self-complacent vanity and even snobbery. The other side of her character is that she may have a tendency to brood, come to a wrong decision thereon, and react with great savagery. She may be easily deceived. Then she is likely to shew herself stupid, obstinate, tyrannical. She may be quick to take offense and harbor revenge without good cause. She might turn and snap at her best friends without intelligible excuse. Also, when she misses her bite, she breaks her jaw. And a translation from Duquette: she is a just but ruthless queen who seems to take offense quite easily. She loves her people in a selfish sort of way, but she is so self-absorbed that when the opportunity for her to experience true love presents itself, she becomes a cruel, tyrannical, savage monster. This naturally results in her unhappiness and eventual destruction. But that's the downside of this lovely lady. She can also be everything the world needs in a strong woman. Now, with any potential goodwill shattered, I have never read a more accurate and non-effy sugar-coated rendition of an ENTJ in love ever. and this has nothing to do with MBTI. But we'll save our theories about the way maybe myths and old cultures have answers for things we're struggling with today. They found it out a lot earlier, for another time. If an ENTJ is pulling away from you right at the end of courtship and right at the beginning of what could be a lifelong partnership, it is probably not because they hate you, because they dislike you, because they want to hurt you. It is because they are afraid of how much they care about you. And if you can ride that out, you two will be set forever. But that about rippity wraps this one up. I hope you enjoyed watching, because I certainly enjoyed making it. Ooh. Like if you enjoyed, because it helps me out a lot. Subscribe if you haven't, because we do this shit sometimes. And comment your thoughts, because I love hearing from you. What are your experiences with ENTJs in love? If you are an ENTJ and you've reached that breaking point, or that pulling away point, what exactly is happening in your head and in your heart at that moment? And if your partner left you, or if you left, or if you pushed through it and stuck together, what was the process? I am curious. Thanks again for watching, everybody. Really, we have a lot of fun on this channel. So much fun, in fact, you could order it from a nice pizza store, a fun pizza, and eat the fun, and it tastes fun. And just enjoy your pizza. Get some pizza tonight, or tomorrow, and enjoy it. Pizzas are fun. That's how much fun we have on this channel, and I look forward to doing this with you guys again in the future.